Hey, what's going on, guys? So by now I'm sure many of you have all seen or read Bungie's most recent blog post about the state of Destiny 2, and the current and future plans on how Bungie plans to fix their game and bring fans and players back. Now, I thought Destiny 2 was initially a good game, but after reaching the end game and realizing that there was nothing PvE related worth doing in the game, and experiencing the dire state of the Crucible, I put the game up rather quickly and stopped playing it. Now, I didn't hate the game, but it just wasn't as good in my opinion as what Destiny 1 Year 3 offered. Now it seems though that after the player base dwindling to a fraction of what it was before, and seeing even their most loyal Destiny fans abandon the game, Bungie has finally realized that the game needs some serious work and has basically promised to fix all of our complaints in this blog post. Now, I'm going to include timestamps below so you can skip past the blog post read and only hear my thoughts and opinions on the changes. But if you haven't read the blog post or don't know the general fixes they want to make, then here they are. In Bungie's official blog post, Luke Smith and Chris Barrett start off the post by saying, "Hey everyone, with Destiny 2's console and PC launches behind us, we want to take some time to talk with you about Destiny 2, specifically where it's at today and where it's going. Our team has been reading feedback and working on updates to improve the game. We've also been reading some tough criticism about our lack of communication, and we agree we need to be more open. Going forward, Destiny 2's post-launch game systems, features, and updates are being designed specifically to focus on and support players who want Destiny to be their hobby, the game they return to, and a game where friendships are made. We want Destiny to be a game that fits into your lifestyle, providing you with reasons to log in and play with your friends, clans, and families. We want Destiny to be a world you want to be a part of." A month ago, we published a list of improvements on the blog. Today we're going to revisit that list and update its status, and share some of the work the team is readying for December, January, and beyond. We know it's frustrating when there isn't enough of dialogue with the development team. You have our commitment that we're going to do a better job of that going forward. After Luke and Chris's short address to the community, they list a lot of the upcoming updates and what all they will entail. Now, I'm not going to read off the month-by-month list, but I will read the overview. The listed changes coming are: new systems and rewards to give our most engaged players additional, optional pursuits, including a new weapon tier, Masterworks, which will feature stat trackers, random rerollable stat bonuses, unique item tooltips, and item detail screens. Improved vendor rewards, adding ways for people to purchase items directly with their legendary shards and tokens. Adding armor ornaments that grant visual permutations of armor as players complete specific challenges. Better incentives for players who complete challenging prestige activities. We're targeting a January update to provide better incentives to complete prestige activities. Better rewards and replay value for strikes, adventures, and lost sectors. In December, we will be introducing a heroic strikes playlist and more generous strike rewards. Rewards for adventures and lost sectors are still on our radar, but will not be delivered for our December updates. Private matches for the Crucible, still targeting early 2018 and expect to have better insight into the exact timing in the new year. We are also moving ranked PvP to the top of our priority list for next year to support the competitive community. Crucible tuning, like adjusted supremacy scoring and better spawning rules. In December, we will introduce additional updates and bug fixes intended to improve these areas of the Crucible, better incentives for completing Crucible matches, and penalties for quitting competitive games. A quitter penalty system is currently in development, and you can expect an update on the development of this system in the new year. Continued improvements to Iron Banner and faction rallies, including uniqueness of rewards. The next Iron Banner and faction rally will introduce improvements in both these areas. Changes to make the mod economy more interesting and impactful. The Gunsmith will have some updates to how mods are acquired. We are exploring more updates to the system in the new year. Ongoing improvements to exotics, including adjustments to reduce instances of duplication. We plan to tune underperforming exotics and will continue to make targeted updates and improvements. Duplication protection will be added for exotics in the new year. New ways to spend surplus currency and materials. Looking at you, legendary shards. Players will be able to spend tokens and legendary shards on vendor inventory. Xur will have new items as well. An emote interface that allows players to equip salty, spicy ramen, 6-shooter, and flip out all at the same time. Emote interface improvements are still on the list, and you can expect an update on the development of the system in the new year. Also down below, I've included a link to Bungie's blog post so you can read more in depth if you wish to, and see when all these changes are coming. Okay, now to me personally, I think these changes are actually great. It seemed there for a while that Bungie and Activision didn't give two hoots about what the hardcore players and vets thought of the game, and that they would continue to be silent and just let the game run its course. This list of fixes and updates seem to address almost all my complaints with the game. For me, the best update that's coming is a ranking system, because due to my busy and stressful college and work life, I usually only have time for a couple multiplayer matches a day. but I don't enjoy multiplayer when my team is decimating the enemy or when we are getting destroyed. I enjoy playing multiplayer when the games are close despite whether I win or lose. What can I say? I like the competitive matches to feel, well, competitive. In terms of the new armor ornaments, I guess that's okay. It's always good to have more customization and everyone likes having their guardians look cool. But I don't care much for this change still, because I think Destiny 1 already had amazing looking armor in that game, especially the Hive looking armor from the Taken King raid. Talk about incentives for playing a raid, that armor alone was a good reason why. For the vendor items, I hope they give weapons and armor that are actually useful and exciting to get. And for the legendary shards, please Bungie let us use legendary shards to purchase something worthwhile. I think I have a couple thousand shards and I literally have zero use for them at the moment. My only worry with the new vendor items and items to use legendary shards on is that these might be good for PvE gameplay, but I fear they will be useless in PvP until they either nerf the Mida or buff the other weapons to make them more useful in the Crucible. Because right now as it stands, the best and most viable option in the Crucible is still the Mida team shot. Yes, I know, so many people always comment that you can flank, but when you flank, what weapons do you use? I, along with almost everyone I've played with, use either the Last Hope or the Uriel's Gift as a secondary weapon. Flanking doesn't fix the issue that there's only 3 to 4 weapons worth using in the Crucible, and almost everyone has them, which eliminates any variety in the gameplay. And variety really is a spice of life. That's what kept me playing Halo 5 for so long, and that's why I prefer games like Battlefield over Call of Duty. Okay, now another great addition that I was very happy to hear, as I'm sure many others are happy about as well, is that Bungie is adding weapon rolls back to the game in the Masterworks weapon tier. I still don't know exactly how this works, but if they can make there be a certain weapon only unlocked for specific strikes and etc., and have these weapons have a different roll each time, then this will be a phenomenal addition and give players a reason to do a lot of the PvE activities, and actually reward players for grinding. This was one of the main complaints many players and I had about the game, and it was something that was fine in Destiny 1, and there was no good reason I could see to validify its absence in Destiny 2. Next up is better rewards for prestige activities, strikes, adventures, and lost sectors. Now for any of you who watched my lengthy review, you'll remember me complaining about the lack of incentives for all the listed activities. I've yet to play anything on prestige because there was no real need, and while the adventures and lost sectors were fun, again they were not really worth playing after reaching level 20. Overall, it seems Bungie is trying to bring the game closer to what Destiny 1 was, make all activities worth playing, and give players more activities to do and more items to acquire via the in-game currencies. I think this update will definitely make the game far more enjoyable, and had this update been implemented at launch, I think players would have stuck around longer and there would have been far less negativity from fans. I still think a lot of problems in Destiny 2 though will continue to stay, such as a lack of content, which will only be fixed by DLC, and the dumbed down changes that Destiny 2 made to customizing classes and the new weapon slot design. I think the new class system is far too streamlined, and the changes to weapon slots is a worse design than the one in Destiny 1. So for my final thoughts on all the changes Bungie is making in Destiny 2, I think they are great changes, and I will give credit to Bungie for realizing many of the mistakes and flaws in the game and taking the time to try and fix most of them. But I still don't think this is enough to fix the game. Now before anyone starts typing in the comments about how I must be a hater and only make these videos to be negative, let me say that I criticize the game because I love the game and see the potential in it. I don't make tons of videos every day bashing games, because I actually play and like most of the games that I talk about. Unlike other channels I've seen that only make negative videos about every game, even if the YouTuber doesn't own or play it. This is my real and honest feedback on the game. I don't hate or despise Destiny 2, nor do I love it. I merely think it is a good game that was extremely disappointing and lacks so many features that many fans wanted and expected. Which is why at the end of the day, I think all of this could have been avoidable had the game just been a large Year 4 DLC expansion that would simply be added on to Destiny 1. I think Bungie should focus on making a large and massive world building experience over the 10-year contract, instead of dividing it into 3 separate 3-year stories. Because right now Bungie seems to be forgetting why players stuck around in Destiny 1, and while they may be fixing Destiny 2, it shouldn't have needed to have been fixed in the first place. As the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now for the next several months or so, instead of looking forward to new features, we the fans are simply getting features back that were taken away. So I don't think this update is going to excuse Bungie's fatal mistakes in Destiny 2, but it will expand the life of an otherwise dying game. And maybe later on down the line, this game will also be amazing. But it will only be amazing if we're willing to shell out the money to fix it. Okay, well those are my thoughts and opinions on Bungie's blog post. But what are your opinions on the post? And has this post helped to alleviate some of the issues with the game? Or do you still think Bungie needs to do a lot more before we the fans can trust them again? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. And I'll see you guys on the next Shepard Gaming video. Kila Salai.